Well, Karina actually sat down with Steiner-Adair to learn more about the impact smartphones are having on our children. As part of her research, Adair interviewed 1,000 American children between the ages of 4 and 14, and this is what she learned about how they feel about seeing their parents on these devices.
What really was astounding about the research I did was that when I asked them, is there anything that's hard about all of this, they all said the same thing. And in fact, they all use the same adjectives, and that's extremely rare in child development to have children of all ages say the same things. And what they said was it makes them angry, mad, sad, lonely, and frustrated. And it was like hearing this children's choir of kids of all ages sing a very sad song about trying to get their parents' attention and the frustration of trying to get their parents' attention.
And not being able to get their parents' attention, how does that harm children not having or having less of that face-to-face interaction?
Well, in different ways. I think that children want to know that they matter to you and that they're important to you and that when they need you, you want to be there for them.
And you think they're not getting that message when we're on our devices?
No, because, they're very frustrated. They say, we went on our family vacation and we went to the beach, but my mommy had her computer the whole time. It wasn't fun.
So it's interesting that the younger generation is looking at the older generation and saying they're always on their devices. Absolutely. When the assumption has always been it's the older generation looking to the younger ones.
That's why I did the research. I wanted to find out what's it like to be a child getting into a car that has Bluetooth. Children are feeling anxious about their connections to their parents, they're feeling hungry for emotional engagement, and they're feeling frustrated because their parents seem to prefer the phones to them. Little 4-year-olds would say things like, I guess it's just not fun for my mommy or daddy when they take me to the park and push me in the swing because they're always talking to somebody else on their phone.
We're seeing a generation now that has been raised from day one having every single moment photographed and videotaped. How does that impact the children?
Well, when children are photographed all the time, what we see happening for some kids is that they actually get anxious about looking the right way in an experience rather than having the experience itself. And then as they get older, we're seeing a spike in body image anxiety and perfectionism and teenagers becoming more socially avoidant because they just see all these perfect pictures of everybody. And it's hard. We've sort of gone overboard in photographing everything. And what we want children to do is to be very present in the moment and not care about how they look or what the showing of the event is. It's actually the experiencing of it.
What about parents? How do they react when they're on their devices and their children are seeking their attention?
You know, what's so interesting is parents react the same way kids react, our teenagers react. Because what happens to all of us, especially when we're texting, but also when we're on keyboards, is our empathy goes down. So even when we turn to our kids, it's like we're more annoyed. What is it? What do you need? Rather than, what, honey? How can I help you? Our hearing goes down, which is why we have to do this. Our ability to really remember where we are in time and space goes down. So it's very hard for children, particularly little kids who don't understand the siren call of the screen. They just want their parents to respond to them and in a nice tone of voice.
Do parents realize this is a problem, them being on their devices all the time?
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. And I think that as parents come to understand this more, of course, they'll get smarter about how to use your smartphone and when to use your smartphone.
How can parents be smarter about smartphones?
Well, I think what you want to do as a family is figure out what are the times of day and what are the transitions in the day when you have little kids that your children really need your undivided attention and work back from there. So I would say get up a half hour earlier in the morning before your kids, do all your email stuff that we all have to do, but then see if you can be off your devices till they're out of your sight. And then the next one is when you pick them up at school. Children of all ages, and 6-year-olds said this, and 26-year-olds said how much they hate it when their parents pick them up at school. And they've said before, oh, honey, I can't wait to see you. I'll pick you up. Or we'll be at the airport when you come back from college. And then you get in the car, you're like, hold on one sec. I just have to finish this call. It's like, it hurts their feelings.
Have we reached a tipping point, though? Do you think people are starting to realize and saying, I'm going to make a conscious effort to go off Facebook for a month? Because I'm seeing that happen among some of my friends.
We're absolutely reaching a tipping point where people are realizing this is so lowercase a addictive, and I'm losing hours and I'm wasting my time, and who cares what my college friends are doing now? I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old at home who actually need me. And I think that what we're all realizing, including younger people as well, is that we can lose so much time. And time is precious, and it's actually the one commodity only you can give your child.